at Seguin River Monsters. Can't make it to the game? Sign up for TCL TV and listen to Ernie and Earl from the 3B.
Stop the stream. Let's go here. We're gonna go here. Straight off. Sure. Charging the runner right now so we get some in-game shots. Last night, 6-1, F. Maldonado. Got those kids down there doing, but it's fireworks night tonight. We're burning out the city Seguin. Hey Louis, we can get that. We've done 6. We can fit it in. We'll get down here, Louis, and then,
Texas Tony Turnstile on the call with my man Michael Perrin, Mikey P.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
We're
Looking
up
forward to getting
here.
to the row.
Oh yeah, we are up here dodging wasps
yeah.
like it's our job. I'm like the wasp whisperer.
Oh, yeah?
Like they don't even mess with me now. They know we're friends.
Yeah,
I smack him with my hat like I'm doing a hit and run batting practice.
there you go.
They just fly off. But excited. River Monsters on a tear for us. We went on the road, win at home behind great pitching and timely hitting. It's fireworks night tonight.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
I think we're rolling the dice with that one. We both agree.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty dry. So
And now, one of the things we're talking about before the game is you got an ex-major leaguer you're talking to here, local here from Seguin. You want to talk a little bit about that? That's exciting.
yeah, man, a friend of mine, Mr. Alvin Boomer Jones. We all call him Boomer. Yeah, man, got drafted by the Chicago White Sox. His dad got drafted by the Phillies as well. So yeah, man, they definitely have some talent in their family, and you know, I believe his dad hit like 2 or 3 home runs his first week in the league, in the big league. So
It's awesome.
Yeah, he was definitely a monster, man. So can't wait to get them up here in the booth, man. I've been speaking with them and trying to get them to come up here. So yeah, man,
Get that Seguin baseball community together.
yes, sir. Yeah, for real.
That's good stuff. We got the Cane Cutters in town tonight. We took down the Brazos Valley Bombers last night. Evan Maldonado, absolutely brilliant on the mound. And Jack Lopez came in, as he does, 2 innings of perfect relief. And then Brody Logston, essentially 1, 2, 3, walked the first guy, but he got a sweet double play up the middle. And then we got Mr. Luis Solis back in the house, director, producer, and he's figured out we're featuring our sponsors tonight. You show love, we show love. That's how it works at Seguin. Sponsors want to help support baseball. We want to get your name out there. We're going with Daniel Pest Control right here out of the gate for the first inning.
Nice.
Really been helping out.
Got a nice crowd for this Friday night game.
Friday night game, 100 degrees on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Got a Nuclear Juarez sticker. Put that on the skateboard.
I love stickers. My refrigerator at home is full of stickers. So
You gotta have a good sticker. Good sticker game. Let's go through some lineups here. Well, I gotta get my Katie in here. That's fine. Because I know it's those doggone Rougarous. I'll tell you what. Well, we're playing the was on the road. Let me look at our road games. We lost the Cane Cutters, but we beat them 4-0. That was Evan Hendricks beating them on the road earlier this week. I'll find my roster. They didn't give us first names, and I love the first names. Aha! That's what you do, folks. Professional broadcast. Filling some first names. Mr. Williams, and of course he's not on there. Oh, no, that's Justin Williams. That's Justin. Too sure. And then you got Mr. Lee playing center field. Batting second. Let's go through it as I write it down. Batting first is the DH, Justin Williams. All right. 31, I believe. Lee, center fielder, batting in the 2-hole for the Cane Cutters. His number 13. Unlucky 13 did it like A-Rod.
oh yeah.
Mr. LaPrairie, Jacob LaPrairie. Prairie. Number 8, batting in the 3-hole. Playing left field. Batting cleanup, first baseman. One of the better names in the league. Mason Zambo, number 21. Zambo, I feel like should be just like a like Prince, just like one name.
Right.
I don't need Mason. It's just Zambo. Zambo. Mason Zambo. Logan McLeod, number 10, batting in the 5-hole, playing third base. Crosby playing, used to be shortstop. Crosby, sport number 4, my number. Check out Mr. I don't see him. Nope, Landon Manson, catcher. Landon Manson catching number 3. Cole Strombo batting the 8-hole, playing right field. Sporting DiMaggio's number 5.
And now let's meet the starting lineup.
C. Antigues. Second, batting in the 9-hole.
Number 12, Jimmy.
Number 1. And then pitching, we faced him before, I believe, is Ben Tate, freshman from Tulane, number 23.
Jose Gonzalez.
I like that there's like a balance with these microphones, because I go back and listen to the broadcast, and our sound has been splotchy, and the people tuning in, there's nothing I can do about the sound actually dropping out, which I believe is a tech problem that has to do with our OBS software. Because I was like Googling and YouTubing for hours, like I'm getting some sound drop, and I think it could have been like overgain made it drop. So we've come back on that a lot, but there's like a sweet spot where you just can't hear anything in the headphones if we go too low.
Yeah.
But the sound will probably drop a couple times during this game. But barring that, we're probably not really blowing out the sound anymore. So anyway, back to I got the headphones all the way up, bud. Got it now? I lost my sound, maybe.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of.
Test. I have our headphones turned all the way up.
Okay. I mean, I can hear you.
It's faint. Problem is, I'll be louder if I turn up the gain,
Yeah.
but then that messes up the broadcast. So this is the sweet spot. Going on the hill tonight, Mr. Zachary Carroll, at the University of Oklahoma, a left-hander. Lineup. Your Seguin River Monsters, Jimmy De Leon leading off, play at second base. Jose Gonzalez playing first base tonight, batting the 2-hole. Victor Jimenez, designated hitting in the 3-hole. Ray Mendoza batting 4-hole, playing left field. Jacob Ruiz, player of the game last night, one of them, playing shortstop, batting in the 5-hole. Warren Laster, phenomenal player, number 37, playing right field tonight. Rye Quinones hit a ball real hard last night in the gap. I thought I was getting out of here. And he is playing third base tonight. Ray Lopez. Oh, it's going to be Raul Lopez. Lopez playing center field for us tonight. Big fan of Raul, 5-tool guy. And then we've got August Ramirez catching behind the plate. Got to talk to him a little bit before the game. Fine young man. And then Zachary Carroll, number 14, starting pitcher. And away we go.
And leading off for the Cane Cutters, number 31.
Here we go.
Carroll out of the stretch entirely, runners on or not. First pitch swinging. Flies it out to right. There we go. Mr. Laster hauls it in for the first out. That's about as efficient as you can get.
Number 13, Patrick Lee.
Patrick Lee, center fielder for the Cane Cutters. That's what Maldonado had 5 Ks last night, but he was pitching to contact. You have to try to blow it by everybody. He was getting swings and misses just on the mix. Did have, good velocity for sure. But sometimes you get the sense guys are overthrowing, and that's when the base on balls. Nice.
2.
0-2 to Lee. That's what we need to do. We're leading the league in base on balls. We're getting it under control.
Yeah.
He's making a lot of contact. Hitters are making a lot of contact. There's a little slider there, honestly. There's a little wrinkle in that. 1-2. Checks it. They're going to ring him. I thought he went.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, honestly, I would say if you make contact, it might have been a line drive. It was a pretty full check swing there. Strikeout for Carroll.
Jacob LaPrairie.
Quick 2 outs.
Jacob LaPrairie batting from the left side.
Lefty
That
on
is a
lefty matchup.
quick 2 outs is right. Ham shot over his De Leon. Excellent fielding. 1-2-3 by Carroll.
Monsters, no run scored.
Nice.
That's how you start it, buddy.
Yeah, man, that's very efficient right there. That was like 4 pitches.
It's our belief, as is the players, because you overheard them, these new jerseys,
Oh, yeah.
Magic Elixir,
They're pretty excited about it, as I am.
switch them up. We're eventually going to get the home pinstripe pants.
Okay.
They're on a container ship somewhere in the Pacific Ocean right now.
Yeah.
Last
I
I
everything else.
tracked them, that container ship was doing figure eights somewhere near the Aleutian Islands.
Right.
They do not know if it will ever get here.
Only time will tell.
If you're out there tuning in, go ahead and find us on social media. Typically, we're tweeting a lot. You got to get better at the Instagram. Mike P, you're pretty good at the Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start posting some of the post-game stuff on Instagram. We were trying to do like our little phone tripod the other day. It just gets to the point where it's so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like so many things. But check us out on Twitter at Seguin TCL. You can find me, T-Tex Tony Turnstile, T.Tex Tony Turnstile, at BMB_baseball. Let me know how the broadcast sounds. Never fully know until we listen to it afterward.
And leading off for the River Monsters, number
Repeatedly on record on what a great leadoff guy Jimmy DeLeon is, but I'll tell you, him and Warren Laster, and I forget the other UIW guys that we showed up about a week into the season, just make you want to be like, ooh, it's a wide strike. to De Leon, but makes you want to like pencil in some time to go catch some UIW Cardinal games.
Yeah.
That must be some good baseball over there because I honestly think they're Division I talents the way they play. Mm-hmm. That's some good baseball over there. They got a nice facility in Incarnate Word too. 1-1. Bounces it. I think that's going to land on top of us, and it does.
I was like, it has to be hitting up here somewhere.
You could bounce a pitch from home plate over the grandstand. That's kind of cool.
Right. Not sure if that's going to happen again.
I've never seen it. Down 3-1. Say we scored 2 in the first, and then like to jump out like that. Bounces it up the middle. Candy hop for the shortstop. Makes the play. Jose Gonzalez, sport number 1. I'm trying to think of number 1s in baseball. It's actually not picked that much.
Yeah, it's really not.
I remember Spike Owen, who was the shortstop forever with the Mariners.
Yep.
But I think he started with the Expos, was the number 1 guy.
What number was Ozzie Smith? I feel like
Ooh,
he
that's a
was-
good question. What number was Ozzy?
For some reason, I feel like he was number 1.
I bet he was number 1. Number 1 shortstop, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, he was number 1.
There you go. Ozzy and Spike, shortstops. Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, one of the greatest gloves.
Ever behold of him, and I mean, Omar Vizquel was right up there. Speaking of Mariner shortstops, as far as guys with just God put them on this earth to show you how to field better than anybody. As Jose Gonzalez draws a walk with one out.
Monsters number 52, Victor Jimenez.
Like unbelievable.
Love how Ozzy would always come out and do his little backflip.
Amazing backflip. I guess I forget the story on how he learned that round off, but he took like some gymnastics classes. And another part of Ozzie Smith history you'd have to go back and find is, I mean, I don't think, the Padres must have known how good he was, like the trade or whatever that brought him from San Diego to. I was pretty early in his career. He only did like a couple years, I thought, in San Diego, but it's like one thing maybe strike inside. Victor Jimenez doesn't like the call.
Yeah, then he went to the Cardinals.
Yeah, but I feel like if it's like a hitter, sometimes guys are a little bit starting slow in their career and other teams got their eye on them. Because, like, here's a Padres trade that I think I saw like a press conference on it when the Phillies traded for John Kruk.
Okay.
The way the general manager described that trade was like they had their eye on him for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they kind of waited for like an off year. And they're like, well, we can get him cheap now. They're looking to trade him. He didn't hit that good last year, but they knew what he was. But I feel like with Ozzie Smith, guy's a middle infielder, right? Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
it's like I don't need the guy to hit 300. He hits 250. It's like there's no question he's one of the best shortstops in the league.
Yeah.
And you traded him. Anyway, Cardinals for you. Breaking ball. Oh, my goodness. That was retribution from the umpire. I don't think that ball is a strike.
No, not at all.
And Jimenez knew it. He was like, okay, this dude wants to ring me because I said something, and I hope it's not that kind of ball game tonight where we get a little bit of ego behind home plate because that can make things.
Yeah, that's never what you want.
That's not what you want. You let a guy say a few things after a call, but unbelievable. I mean, Ben Tate strikes out Jimenez, but to that point, for Jimenez is at bat, so he's getting the inside corner, and then you go super wide on a breaking ball on the outside. What do you?
Yeah,
it's like what? Pitcher can throw it anywhere.
At that point, yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I hope Jimenez goes 3 for his next 3, and he's player of the game. I can get him to talk about that one. 2 down.
Because he'll definitely remember.
He'll remember that one. And he wanted to say something there, but
it's too early in the game.
If we're dealing with that kind of ego, he's probably going to try to throw you out.
Yeah.
0-2 to Ray Mendoza. Let's see, a Houston Cougar. Gonzalez leading off first. I liked Jose Gonzalez's base running. He wasn't stealing the other night, but he was drawing a lot of attention.
Oh, there we go.
Fouls it back. Rattle on the mic. It's died down. Excellent turnout for the city of Seguin tonight. They want to see some fireworks. Potentially help us put out the fire we might start. There goes Gonzalez. Good pitch to run on. On a breaking ball. Strong throw by the King Cutters catcher, Landon Manson, and they get Ramirez, and Ray will lead off the next inning.
The only good thing about that, Ray's going to come back up to bat.
Get a fresh count.
Yeah.
That's a good, honestly, we had a rule if it was 2-2 with 2 outs and you're a runner on first, you automatically stole on my summer ball team.
Okay.
Or I think it was maybe just 2 strikes and 2 outs. You automatically stole because it would give the guy a fresh count. Either you're going to be safe or the guy was going to hit it or you're going to start over.
Yeah.
But not a bad place for Jose Gonzalez to try to get an extra base down on the count there. This Gonzalez switching out sponsors like an absolute pro.
Nice.
I just want to say to Luis Solis, I was talking about Jose Gonzalez. Louis, when you're producing for like NBC, remember me and Mikey P.
Please do.
Let me be like a key grip, you know? You get like a multi-million-dollar show, you'd be like, yeah, well, you can come on and get coffee for these guys. I'll be like, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Solis. That's what I say. Is that you ever hear the 10,000-hour rule?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it'll be, because by the time Louis graduating from high school or college, he'll be like, he's like, dude, I've been making TV shows for like 8 years, bro.
Forever now.
You kidding me? We're producing sports, miniseries, short films, you name it. All right, let's go here. Top 2. Zambo. Mason Zambo, but in my book, he's just Zambo.
It's just Zambo.
Blocks it, skies it into the corner. Laster settling under it.
Nice. Another first pitch pop up.
F9. Remember the quote about Gary Mannix? He was a center fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies.
What's that?
I think they won it back in 1980, 80 or 81. I got to go back and check. I'm actually reading a book on it, but there's such a great quote. Their announcer coined it, bounce to De Leon at second base. Easy play, 4-3. And Carroll working effortlessly through this lineup.
He has like 6 or 7 pitches. That's
He
it.
does. It's like he was like 7 pitches in the first. But they said 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. The rest is covered by Gary Maddox. Because he could go get it in center field. And I'm just going to apply that quote to Warren Laster.
There we go. Yeah, man, he definitely has a lot of range.
Gap to line, now he's in right, and gap to gap when he's in center. It's the dirt. 3/4 of the earth is covered. and water. The rest of it's covered by Warren Laster in my book. Pete Crosby, shortstop, facing Carroll. I have no idea where that pitch missed.
I have no idea either.
I'm going to go back on the YouTube or whatever replay and try to figure out. Sometimes when it missed, I feel like, and I couldn't read this book, skied on the infield. So Jose Gonzalez calling everybody off. Excellent job by the first baseman right there. 3 up, 3 down for Zachary Carroll. Shout out to our sponsor, Daniel Pest Control. Now Boss's Pizza. You want a slice of pizza after the game, players getting. I would say it's not good for your waistline, but we're sweating our aces.
Oh, yeah.
So hard. I mean, you'll drop 10 pounds before the game. Why not have a couple slices?
Yep.
It's one.
Young people's metabolism is pretty good anyway, so.
Young folks can burn it off.
Pizza is the most light type of food like in the world, so.
It makes sense. Anybody out there looking to up the ante on your dietary intake? I had horrible allergies, Mike, and I was searching for all these answers. I was seeing all these doctors getting all this blood work done, and honestly think I was just having an allergic reaction to a lot of different foods I was eating. And there's this book called The Plant Paradox. Fascinating book. And it just talked about stuff that we'll eat that will cause inflammation. And one of those things was like tomatoes. You know, it's like pizza's got the tomato sauce.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, I love pizza. But actually, like those nightshades way back in the day were straight up poisonous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you couldn't even eat it. That was like the plant's defense, because like some like berries are made for, you know, they want the animal to eat them and poop them out, and then that's how that seed fertilizes. But some are like, if I'm too delicious and you just eat us all up, we'll go extinct. So we got to poison you. So like a lot of nightshades, I mean, the strain of tomato, but they're only slightly poisonous. So what they do, instead of killing you, it causes like a crazy inflammatory reaction.
Yeah, that's
And a lot of foods are like that. And so I mixed it up and I started trying to eat the way that book wanted to, and you know, I felt awesome.
Nice.
I'm just giving information for anybody who might be listening. That and magnesium supplements, good for the brain. Check it out, folks. Ray Mendoza leading it off against Ben Tate.
Get his restart.
And that's nothing as far as rabbit holes, Mike, because last night I went down a rabbit hole with Scotty B on Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's.
Oh, yeah?
And how he screwed over the McDonald brothers.
Oh, I think I did hear something about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking ball. Same pitch. He calls that a strike to Victor Jimenez.
I don't know much about it, but I remember hearing something about that. And yeah.
Yeah, check out the movie The Founder. It's not like a blockbuster movie, but it's an interesting movie, and Michael Keaton's good in it. Hit the other way hard by Mendoza. Doesn't get over the right or left fielder out there. Jacob LaPrairie hauls it in. Hard by Ray. Yeah, I just filled my baseball color commentary with completely unrelated information. And I expect people to just enjoy the factoids. Might help them win Jeopardy one day.
You never know. You never know.
Shortstop Jacob Ruiz. This ball outside corner, no arguments for me. Skied right up the middle. Shortstop calls for it and takes it. That was kind of an interesting swing from him. It's almost like he stepped and then he's like, it's in on me. And he like mini stepped into the bucket to bring his hands in. He actually got it on the barrel, but didn't get on top of it. Krause makes that catch. And Laster, the man, the myth, the legend. Or Laster from Prairie View near Houston.
Yep.
Going to UIW. UIW's got a great ball player right there.
Yeah, for sure. Nice speed, good glove.
His plate approach is phenomenal, too, because he'll work the count. And honestly, he almost beat out a bunt last night that wasn't even that good of a bunt.
That's that speed I was talking about.
It's that speed. He gets that one more step towards the line. He's safe, but can do it all.
I used to love Ichiro from the left side.
Oh, my goodness.
He was already running when he was swinging.
Ichiro, we'll never see another one like him. It's it's just Ichiro. I actually, because I'm on record as being a Lincecum fan, but some guys are just so different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That
He was definitely one of them. Yeah.
Two to Laster, swings through it. Slider up from Tate, full count to Laster. That's that moment where you kind of like step out, you know, and you're thinking, you're doing the math.
Yep.
What are we doing here?
Okay.
Good hack. Skied into the corner, long run.
Might drop.
Oh, carried a little bit.
And that's in the second inning. The Seguin River Monsters like to give a shout out to Dream.
He was ultimately in foul territory when he caught it.
Dream Big Facility is an executive coaching.
Really nice crowd out here. I like it.
Like the vibe at the ballpark, folks. Come on down. Always a good time in Seguin. I'm leaving it up to you, Mikey P. I'm going to take the runner. Just step down in between innings, get a couple shots of Mr. Carroll while he's warming up.
All right. We can get another efficient inning out of a starter on the mound tonight.
A couple shots of Mr. Carroll warming up.
Nice, nice.
You always hope they're in focus. Post those later. Pitching well, working right through it. Technically, both pitchers have gone 1, 2, 3. There's a changeup. Change, I believe. Warren. Comes on to make the catch. Again, pitch to contact. It's democratic, as they say in Bull Durham. You don't have to strike everybody out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's help you. Cole Strombo, right fielder. And in the A-hole, Acadiana Cane Cutters. It's ball in on the hands. It's almost kind of like a good match because Carroll's around the zone a lot, but the Cane Cutters are being real aggressive. They are swinging early in the count. Bounce a little bit. Is that breaking ball? Nice stuff, Carroll. Part of the thing is Augie Ramirez, our catcher tonight, River Monsters debut last night with Evan Maldonado, so getting to know a new pitching staff and really calling a good game. You know, understanding, you know, probably before the game talking about what they got, seeing how it looks during the game. And I mean, if you're calling a 6-1 win, you're on the same page as your pitchers, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Lined up the middle, but right to Raul Lopez. Catches it like a pimp daddy. I like Raul Lopez so much, and he's got a little bit of style. F8. A little flap catch right by the chest, no problemo. 9-hole. See Antiguez.
Yeah, man. He seems to be pitching to contact, but it's working at the moment. So
Just got to do.
let's put it over the plate and trust your defense.
Squares to bump, fouls it. I don't know if that was intentional from Carroll, but he kind of squared and that ball ran right in on him, which is one thing a pitcher can do to like, oh, you want to bunt on me? Let me run. Let's see if you went right off his fingers, I think. I'm sure you've done that. I've definitely bunted a couple balls off the fingers.
Oh, yeah, it happens.
You learn to tuck them in after a couple of those bunts. Let's say I bunted off my fingers more trying to like drag bunt to the first base side as a lefty. With this umpire and Victor Jimenez, that's a strike. I'm just saying. One. It's breaking ball. Another thing Carroll's doing is, you know, you get ahead with a 1-2 count. A lot of guys will be like, well, let me reach back and get extra mustard. You throw, and you miss by a lot, you know, with that strikeout pitch. You could still nibble, you know. You don't have to miss by a foot. See, like right there, frozen pizza on the breaking ball.
Nice.
I don't think you got any argument on that pitch because you got to protect with 2. That's close enough. Might have been low, but it definitely broke over the plate. Third baseman, Jonas, absolutely tattooed a baseball last night off the base of the fence. Wind typically blowing against righties. All balls that have left Smokey Joe have essentially been to right center. Getting out here and left is a feat. Swirling but blowing in. Ben Tate. Delivers fastball low. He cut there from Jonas, 101.
The mic was open, Ernie, so I couldn't help myself.
You got to do it, Scotty. Scott Berry getting some airtime. Absolutely love it. I was just saying how hard Rye crushed that ball last night to the gap.
He did. Drove it to the wall. Almost had his second home run in 3 nights.
That's right, because he went Yahtzee against the King Cutters on the road. So they're very well versed. The power of this young man. Bounced. 2-2.
We have definitely seen the power from Ryland in batting practice, and then now, it's starting to show in games, which we love to see. He's got a nice swing up there.
I mean, just eye test, the man's a large athlete. Let me see what we don't have our height weight stats, but built like a Greek god. Gets into that one, sends him back, but there you have the graveyard that is Smokey Joe. And that's directly into the wind. I mean, it's blowing in at that angle, so.
That is not the first ball this outfield has eaten up, and it won't be the last.
It's not. That was actually the center fielder, F8. The war stories I got, you want to talk about wind helping and hurting. Played a season, my last season at Lubbock Christian. Anybody's ever played baseball in Lubbock? I'm going to talk about lined up the middle by Raul. He's over to get it. Oh, my goodness. Raul can run.
Nice
6'3".
Here's number 14,
cap on that one.
August Ramirez.
Crosby with a nice backhand. But we're talking like, I don't even know, the mile per hours. But, I mean, I hit a pop fly to second base that went over the right field wall. I mean, you can get a lot of help, but on the flip side, for every ball you got knocked down, you got that help on another day.
We certainly haven't had any wins that have given us the help yet.
Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, insane wind. We had a game called because of wind, like a rainout, breaking ball from Tate's inside. Barreled, but skied. Could be trouble. Fielders converging. Oh, my goodness. Cade Crosby. Derek Jeters it. Catches it right in the snow cone. 3 up, 3 down.
And we are looking at a pitcher's duel here.
For sponsoring the Seguin River Monsters. This season will not be possible without work, tree removal, and more. Reach out to your sponsorship this season from your Seguin River Monsters.
Dak is working with 24 pitches here through 3 innings. He went through the Cane Cutters lineup in order. Let's see how he fares the second time around.
Yeah, it's always a tell. And I was saying, you as a catcher, you tip your cap to Augie Ramirez. Getting on the same page as these pitchers so quick.
Yeah, this is another good start from our pitchers with Augie behind the plate. He, like I said last night, he showed up yesterday, must have clicked with Evan pretty quickly, and he's clicking here with Zach as well.
Not a lot of shaking off, a lot of good mixing and matching, and the pitchers doing their job around the plate all the time.
I can definitely speak to Zach's work ethic. Every time I see him around the ballpark, he's working on his craft, whether it's the weighted balls, the bands, different pitching exercises. Zach's always working on his craft, so it's nice to see it come to fruition out on the mound.
I believe I think this is a Californian, isn't he, from Davis? Him and his brother with the University of Oklahoma. It's California, and I think he went to UC Davis for a year before he transferred to Oklahoma, and I'm not sure that's because his brother was going there, and they got them both, but Carroll Bros, Oklahoma. The top with Justin Williams. All ready to go. There's our way. Williams slightly closed stance. Off speed, strike one. Off speed pitch. Honestly, I think that's Carroll throwing good pitches, but unless he's talking with Victor in the dugout on the game plan, that's just going in reverse, you know? Just playing with the batter's heads is Augie Ramirez. And there's the fastball.
You like to see that, like we just said, see how he fares the second time through the lineup and, facing the leadoff hitter again and throws him 2 breaking pitches to start the at-bat, keep him guessing.
It's such a cat and mouse game, the game of baseball. Like as a hitter, you kind of know they're going to go, nice. Slider, back foot slider. Gets him. They're going to go with a different recipe, but then it's like, are they going to do it's unbelievable the knots you can twist your mind into trying to guess pitches. One down. Patrick Lee was grooving before the game, I'll tell you that.
He was enjoying himself in batting practice. I think he liked our playlist.
Getting some salsa dance going with Patrick Lee. Us putting up cameras, he's like, you let me know when those cameras are on. And I apologize, Patrick Lee. They didn't really go live until about 6:45, so nobody saw your salsa dancing.
Some guys are just showmen out there, and he was one, that was for sure.
Love to see it. Love to see these guys having a good time. 1-1. Carroll deals fastball.
I thought that caught the outside corner there.
Could have been up. Called it a strike, I'll tell you that. Shakes. That's what he wants here. Fastball again. 3-1.
First time I think Zach's been behind in the count. Let's see if he can work back here.
I feel like this umpire has the ego to have that call him back just because he ran so quick. That was close.
That was basically the same pitch that just missed before. I thought both of those could have been strikes.
Well, he rung up Jimenez on that pitch.
It was the same. I hope Vic doesn't see those two that just recalled balls.
Well, I'm going to talk to Victor after the game because he said something after the curveball that was way in. And then the umpire's like, oh, really? Well, just let me make an example out of you, is what happened there. Jacob La Prairie,
the first
left
base
fielder
runner for Acadiana now. Let's see how Zach.
Nice breaking ball. Carroll right there. Anytime the stirrups are pulled up and you're a center fielder, I'm going to go ahead and assume you're a risk to run.
They do go hand in hand.
Slice the other way. I think that's going to get out of... that is foul. The count. Bear showed pretty good throw down last night. Girl can keep Lee close enough. Lined up the middle, can be 2.
Our middle infield with another double play. Those guys are on the same page.
4-6-3.
No run scored for Acadiana.
Excellent pick job by De Leon. That ball was hard hit.
This night they turned one of those in the 9th inning. That was a little more tailor-made. That was not an easy double play.
That was hard. You got to pick it right.
Both on the field by Jimmy and the turn by Jacob.
Nice backhand feed. Just going to go ahead and jinx Ben Tate because I want to win this ball game. But he is throwing a no-hitter through 3.
That's nice. That's nice.
I mean, pitcher's duel. Both guys been around the plate. Good stuff. But I got to do my job as a Seguin homer.
Yeah, for sure. I think both pitchers are throwing no-hitters right now.
Oh, you did it.
And starting it off for you.
Can't say it. I was only going to jinx Tate. I was only going to jinx Tate, but that is the facts, folks. It's pitcher's duel going on. Top of 4. Hits it hard. Backhand glove by the third baseman. Throws across. I don't know if he's on the bag. He does. Keeps his toe. 5-3. Are sticking in gloves, Mikey P. There have been a couple pretty solid backhand plays.
Yeah, for sure.
Easiest one to hit the heel of the glove. Gonzalez did reach on a walk. Caught stealing. This is it. Ooh. Might have got the corner. 101. Ball down. Just count.
I was watching some college baseball, and I saw how they had the camera on the ump's head. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good angle.
It's a really good angle. It looks like a bullet.
It does.
It's
crazy.
Man.
It is crazy. Tate delivers. Full count goes full off the shoe of Manson. He walks it off.
It makes you have that much more respect.
It's, Jose Gonzalez had 2 hits last night. Good ball game.
Nice.
Spoiled by Jose. That's a good piece of full count hitting right there. I don't know if that's a ball or a strike, but you got to do something with it. Can't leave that up to the umpire.
Nope.
There it is. He works the walk.
Nice.
Good bats coming out of Jose Gonzalez right now. Victor Jimenez, I'm very interested in the interpersonal communications aspect of this at bat. I thought he got absolutely hosed
Yeah.
last AB, and I don't think it was unintentional. Victor Jimenez, our other catcher, threw a fastball.
Looks like he was on top of that one.
1. Sometimes I like to give this little shot here. We can look at the lead. What's the base runner doing over there? Especially Jose Gonzalez. Likes to get a lot of attention. Jam shot, but right in the hole. Third baseman cuts it off. The lead runner. Fielder's choice. 2 down. Ray Mendoza. Left fielder tonight.
$50 walk-up music.
Gotta have
That's
50.
how we do.
Got the left hard, under it a little bit too much.
And that's in the 4th inning.
Zambo flat out to right. Last at bat. Fashion pitcher's duel many times will come down to the bullpens and timely hitting in the late innings. We shall see. Let's breaking ball for strike 1. Nice off-speed pitch from Zachary Carroll right there on the count. Carroll has been phenomenally efficient tonight. Ahead in most counts and just pitching in reverse. Off-speed, never know when the heater's going to come. Really kept the King Cutters off balance. Good fastball.
I think it was just the one at bat he had a walk where he reached a 3-ball count. I think everything else has either been put in play or a quick strikeout.
Really been working ahead, really been pitching to contact. Off speed down, 2-2. a nice breaking ball and sit down, Mr. Zambo.
Zach has been tight, and it has been on the corners.
That was an absolute beaut. K on the night, Mr. Carroll. Lined up the middle. Logan McLeod breaks up the no-no here in the 5th. Stop Cade Crosby. McLeod was thinking, I was like, I just got to sit first pitch because working this down on the count stuff ain't happening for me. Jumped all over it. Fly to center. Raul Lopez tracking it. Hope he hoses it to first. Does not. McLeod back. First pitch swinging was Crosby. F8. 2 down.
Anything hit in the vicinity of 23 out there just is a can of corn for our guy. Raul plays an incredible center field.
He really does, and you got him and Warren Laster. Ray Mendoza, that's an outfield that can cover a lot of ground. Catcher, Landon Manson. This is a good block by Ramirez. Sporting his Texas State Bobcats catcher shell.
I believe it was 2 games ago we had mentioned Pudge Rodriguez, and Augie just kind of has a Pudge look to him back there.
He does. Man is built. I was talking to him before the game. He was cutting some threads off a sleeve. Gave him the multi-tool. And told him, hey, man, great debut. Way to have a good game. Nice young man there. Just want to get a catcher shell and wear it around, all around. Catcher shell. Any catcher shell conversation always gets me to go down the John Olerud rabbit hole.
That is the first name I thought of when you said catcher shell.
Winfield wore it forever with the no flaps batting. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm not going to protect my ear. I'm grandfathered in. I like just the hitting with a little shell. That always stuck out in my mind. That Olerud's story was, I mean, tragic but saved. Like, he's doing fine now. But, I mean, it was a brain aneurysm is why he wears it.
Yes.
His father operated on him because he was a neurosurgeon. Unbelievable story there.
It really is.
So Manson walks. First and second.
I actually have the Mets John Olerud shell helmet.
You have that?
I have one of them, yes.
Actual game worn or just
from
replica?
John Olerud.
Oh, wow. It's breaking ball from Zachary Carroll. If you want to see insane, and I mean insane, collegiate statistics, go ahead and look at John Olerud at Washington State. Does not make sense.
Oh.
Nice breaking ball. Carroll doing the walk.
I thought that
Doing the
broke
sword walk.
directly across the front corner of the plate there.
Mind foul. Olerud stories abounds. He grew up around Bellevue, Washington, same hometown as Olerud, and there's this high school called Interlake. And I think that's where Olerud played high school ball. And their high school field sucked, like all of our high school fields. But beyond center, ball up. there was probably another 200 feet of just like paved area where like basketball hoops had been painted on the ground and all this stuff. And then a massive cinder block gymnasium. Swings through it. Carroll gets out of it. Strombo for the third out. And upon that cinder block gymnasium was like pinned in another basketball hoop. And the lore at Interlake High School was that Olerud hit a home run, I think at batting practice or something. They're like, that hit like that backboard.
Far back.
I was like, dude, that's like 470 feet away. Like, that's like another baseball field away. It was so far. But Olerud, underrated. You know, his major league career was not Hall of Fame level, but he had a couple years where he was unconscious. Very clutch hitter. Kind of like what they call the professional hitter. Would give you a good at bat every time.
Professional hitter, and he was steady Eddie in the field. He played a good first base.
Played a good first base. You know, and this kind of goes a little bit to my conversation on, I think there's so much psychology in sports, especially baseball. And like a coach believing in you is maybe the difference between a terrible year and the best year you ever had. And Cito Gaston was on record that he really didn't like Olerud. So Olerud playing with a guy who wasn't really a fan of him, and then he went, I forget, was it the Mets he was unconscious with? He had one season where his OPS was astronomical.
Yeah, I don't know if he may have been an all-star 1 year with the Mets. I'm not official on that, but he did have a very good year with the Mets.
But shout out to John Olerud. It's a funny story. Did you ever hear his, I'm sure you have, his Ricky Henderson helmet story?
I don't know.
I think he was with the Mets, and then the Mets got Ricky because Ricky played everywhere. And Ricky goes, I think he did this at Ricky Henderson's like Hall of Fame induction or something, or it was like Mets night. And he goes, Ricky came up to me, and I was just wearing the helmet around. He was like, oh man, you wear that thing all the time, huh? And he was like, yeah. He was like, that's funny. I played with a guy in Toronto that did that. And then Olerud was like, yeah, dude, that was me.
That was me.
That's like we were already teammates with. The Olerud story. Jacob Ruiz leading it off. King Cutters broke up the no-no. Let's see if Jacob can do the same. Zeros after zeros. Checks it. Calls it a ball. Oh my goodness. Take that back. Check swing called a strike. Yo. Hard. Gonna dribble to third there, but easy play for the third baseman. 5-3. Kind of got it off the end of the bat.
37, Warren Master.
I'm feeling it. Warren Laster is going to be the man to break this thing open. Slider up high.
Back in the third inning, we saw their 9-hitter attempt to bunt on one of the first pitches. I don't know if that was a way to work on breaking up the no-no.
Probably was attempt, but Carroll, I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional, but he ran it in on him, and I think he got it off the fingers.
Yes, that was a nice pitch by Zach. Oh.
Ooh. I don't know what that pitch means.
That was way behind Warren.
Way behind Warren. I don't see any, like, I'm sorry from Ben Tate. Staring in like, whatever. I don't think you're trying to bean a guy with a no-no, so give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Trying to put a guy with Warren's speed on the bases.
Fastball. Always talk about Don Drysdale, because you talk, like, listen to the guys that faced Drysdale, like Henry Aaron and all those dudes. They were like, he made sure you knew he was throwing at you. he'd come halfway down the grass and say, yeah, that was not an accident. I love that. Breaking ball way in. Gone are those days. It's a Bob Gibson and Don Drysdale. Sal the Barbara Magley. Fouled straight back by Laster. Count is full. Laster does his job, gets on first. One of the last few guys I really remember kind of being a up and in guy as just a legitimate part of his repertoire was Dennis Martinez. Expos, Orioles, long career. I'd have to go back and look whether, I think he was a 20-game winner a couple times. Dennis Martinez had good stuff, but not afraid to throw up and in, keep you off the plate, but then he hit Kirby Puckett in the face. And that was kind of like another we say argument against we need to do away with this headhunting. Delayed steal from Laster, got himself in a rundown.
Back to the bat. Oh.
Laster and De Leon have worked in the delayed steal a couple of times, and what they want to do is get a big secondary, and when the catcher tosses it back to the pitcher, bolt. But the Landon Manson saw him creeping off, and he pulled it down. He's like, I'm not tossing it back to the pitcher. We're going rundown now. Rocky Quinones hacks it, bounces it to third, he gets it on the candy hop, throws him out. That'll do it.
Here in Seguin, Texas, committed to providing quality services. Big firm, small personality. Franchise partner of yours, Seguin River Monsters.
Buddy.
Stitch on a relief. Zachary Carroll, who threw an absolute gem. Stitch, tall right-hander out of Angelo State. The Monsters picked him up 2 days ago. First look at him.
Pitchers duel still going on.
Still with the no-no. Worked the minimum. Carroll, essentially the same, but gave up 2 hits last inning. Sorry, one hit.
One hit, man.
Base runners. The Antiguas
I unfortunately jinxed them.
on the turnstile jinx. As soon as I say something, it's the exact opposite happens. Solis hooking up the podcast, 3BGB. If Earl's listening to this, he can agree with me. Mediocre podcast at best we're running there because we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we've stopped cutting them for like 6 weeks because Earl was out and his work schedule changed. And then we started doing River Monster stuff. So we're so busy we can't do a podcast. But
At the end
probably
of the day,
get together next week in the off week, cut one.
what's the name of the podcast?
It's 3BGB,
3BG.
which is a bounce to De Leon. Nice play. Goodness gracious, that was closer than it should have been.
At the end of the
Teams
day,
can run.
At the end of the day with the podcast, I feel like it's all about having fun.
Justin Williams.
That's what it is. Anybody can throw one up. I think we're like the 17,000th baseball podcast on Spotify. Anybody and their buddy can get an Amazon mic. Of course, we went a little bit more all in with the soundboard and equipment and stuff.
Yep.
So we have like bump music and
Nice.
trying to go for professional production. But we cover all topics of baseball and then a little bit of punk music review.
Cool.
Stitch gets the first out. Lined up the middle. Raul Lopez keep him at first. I'm sorry. Yep, that was Justin Williams.
That's about number 13, Patrick Lee.
And Scotty B were admiring Patrick Lee's salsa dancing skills pregame.
Top notch, huh?
He was working it. He wanted people to see. I think maybe he knows that Seguin's broadcasting with all these cameras.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like BP, but we don't really turn on the feed until like 6:45, so nobody saw his moves, but phenomenal. Stitch working with a runner at first. Belted in the gap, but Warren Laster does what Lauren Laster does. Great catch. Almost overruns it, but I mean, just getting to it, frankly, and the wind like blew it back behind him.
Yep.
Stabs it out of the sky. Great catch.
Pure athleticism right there.
Man can do it all. Jacob LaPrairie, left fielder. I know David Stitch is grateful. That ball was roped.
It's already the 6th inning, man. We're kind of getting through this fast.
This game is flying.
Yes.
Flying. Oh, runner. Justin Williams fakes. Oh. There goes Williams. Throw down from Ramirez, a good one. Oh. I don't know if he came off the bag. Throw beat him, but then you have to come up to scoop the hop and get back down with a tag. So Williams with a stolen base. Focus on LaPrairie now.
I'm not sure if there's been a runner in score position all game for both teams yet.
Last inning, the walk from Manson pushed the runner to second there. Last ball up from Stitch was Logan McLeod singled. Wants a different ball. You see the footage of Mad Al I can't say his name. Hraboski. The Mad Hungarian. He was like a pitcher for the Braves in the 70s.
Okay.
And he kept asking for a new ball from the umpire. The umpire was just getting peed. It's like after 6 balls,
He's like, yo.
he just started rolling balls out there like a bowling ball. You want that one? Bounced foul. Ooh.
Your head on a swivel out there.
Oh, look alive. Not the sunken dugouts. Off speed from Stitch. Still 2-2-2.
Twos all around.
Twos all around. Gary and Al Hrabowski. Before my time, but I just remember seeing some like probably twib notes or just highlights of funny things in baseball. Nice breaking ball. Sit down and eat it.
Oh, that out the hand.
Oh my goodness. Stitch breaks off a filthy one for the last out. Argument from La Prairie, he just started walking.
Yeah.
Step off for a second. My phone's about to die, so you gotta plug that into the keys.
To the bottom of the sixth.
And leading off for Seguin, number 12.
Raul Lopez up to bat. He can do the batting spot.
Al Lopez. Definitely feel like he's due for a nice line drive.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was a strike. Including that the catcher reached for it, so it wasn't even hitting the spot.
Yeah. As a hitter, that always leaves you uncomfortable because it's like
up the middle, Raul can run. And
it's always crazy to me how I feel like the bags
Up to bat
are
for the River Monsters, number
they're like just the right
13.
amount of distance to have a lot of close plays. You know, what is this, like 90 feet 6 inches? What do you mean?
yeah, 90 feet, and then of course the mound's 60 feet 6 inches.
Yeah.
But it is the magical distance to make so many plays close.
Yes.
So many mysteries of baseball. Such a wonderful game. Augie Ramirez takes a breaking ball for strike one. And Tate, definitely a homer, but working a no-no into the sixth right now. It's the type of thing with the cane cutters, they just won't talk to him in the dugout. They just breaking ball in, almost hits him.
You think so?
I think so at this point. That's a cool thing. And then, of course, Carroll was throwing up zeros, and you go to David Stitch. So I think there's pitch count considerations for these guys where, you know, this is a college player on lease to the cane cutters, and their manager has got to take care of these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
A no-hitter is a super cool thing, but I don't think his pitch count's super duper high, though. But, oh my goodness. Augie Ramirez didn't lean back a whole lot. That looked like that fastball went right on his nose. It's full. And speaking of full, the stands are filling up here.
Oh, yeah.
Smokey Joe Williams. Fastball. Tate.
I think that's pretty cool for any team is a combined no hitter. So
No hitter. You don't like the Yankees. I will tell you a classy story I heard one time. There was like a Tulane guy. I can't remember who it was. Might have been like the Rangers or Houston. That's why I heard out about it. But, you know, it was like a 6, maybe a 7, maybe a 9 pitcher combined no hitter. Tons of guys out of the bullpen. No hit the Yankees. Dudes go to the clubhouse after the ball game. Every single pitcher that pitched that game's got a ball of champagne on ice waiting for him.
nice.
Class organization.
Yep.
Love them or hate them. De Leon. No to De Leon. Love to see Jimmy get on here. Go. 4-pitch walk. Walk issued to De Leon.
On base again.
He's already worked 2 walks against Ben Tate. Shown that he can battle even down 2 strikes, spoil pitches. Chase. Ball's been given very good at bats. In 2-0. There is activity in the Cane Cutter bullpen. Going out. Likely 2 reasons. Loss of time for the bullpen. Calm Tate after 6 balls in a row. So you got this, man. I would say to Jose Gonzalez, 2-0, next pitch. Got to be the one you want, but be all over it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's shaken out. Could come down to a 1-run ball game in these crunch time innings. Quickly in the hole, and it's bobbled. Nobody's safe. And I don't know how you score that.
I think that's an error.
Cane Cutter's the benefit of the doubt. He did get a glove on it. I think if he does, probably does make the play at first. So go E6. No, still intact. Our man Victor Jimenez exchanged words with the umpire. Got the old blue Falcon job crushed into the gap, but the left fielder is there. Good wood from Jimenez. Yeah, I turn it on whenever I start having trouble seeing it. Stitch will deal to Zambo. Top of 7. Still a 0-0 ball game. Luis Solis being clutch, unfreezing OBS. For those of you watching the broadcast, the only way we figured out to unfreeze a frozen OBS screen is to go down to our video choices and select integrated webcam, which is on the laptop, and then that just shows us sitting in the box here trying to figure out tech. And you go right back to Blackmagic ATEM, and sure enough, the cameras are working again. So 2-0 to Zambo. Ball in, almost gets him. I don't know if it's a case of, like David Stitch, a lot of times you're new to a team, you really want to impress. Start out good. Nice fastball for a strike. Perhaps overthrow. Doesn't seem to be the case. He's around the plate. Stuff from David Stitch we're seeing here. Gets himself right back in the count. Full. If you did see us unfreeze the camera and you want to know what the preeminent Luis Solis looks like in the future of television in America, that's the man. Pitch by Stitch. Pitch from Stitch. At some point, I'm going to get a different tripod for our press box cam so I can move it around and then set it back down. Because there would have been a sweet crowd shot. Or maybe it was on that cam. You could see the kid walking around. Oh, did not miss by much. Bow walks. There's a kid who got the little helmet to get the ice cream in. Just walking around bouncing it on his head. I had to chuckle. Logan McLeod lined up the middle his last time up. Broke up our no-no. Breaking ball, strike one. Rich crucial. We're getting down to crunch time here, folks. Still a 1-run, or basically 0-run ball game, but it could be the 1 run that wins it. Oof. That got his jersey. By pitch, it's McLeod. It's on. Nobody out. This game is going. You have to look for the potential bunt in this situation. Cade Crosby. The corners are in. Middle infielders are double play depth. Let's see what Crosby does here. It's going to square. Pulls it back, call 1. I think Crosby's probably bunting here. Where this game's going. Not squaring early. There he squares again. Fouls it. Varies on bunting and technique is as wide an opinion as you'll find coaches in the world. Some favor just get it out there, present. Other guys like you're not in rhythm, kind of do it the same way we hit. Swings, and now you got a 2-strike count on a would-be bunter. See if Stitch can get this man, because that's huge, huge in the spot. Take away this out. All up 2-2. As a third baseman, a couple steps back. Now bunting is not in order. Lined. Laster. Really good throw from Laster. That's the first time I really got a good look at Laster's arm, but that's a great throw from right field.
The ball number 3, Landon Manson.
This is loaded, nobody down. You're gonna have to stay double play depth. The corners need to cut the run at the plate. Field all the way in, everybody. That makes sense. You got a 0-0 ball game. Runner third could be the W. The score wouldn't win anyway, but no. He's going to come out and have a talk.
Number 15, Jack Lopez.
Jack Lopez coming on in pitcher can only imagine the tightest spot with zero room for error. Bases loaded, nobody down, nobody out, and 2 balls already on the batter. I applaud Coach Reyes. You don't see the change in the middle of the bat too often. There's this sort of maybe pride thing the manager will have. Well, let's let him get the batter, but then you have that intuition in your gut. Bases loaded, nobody out, starting to get away from the pitcher, and that's what Coach Reyes does. Makes the switch. The only thing less common than that is, and that's on a non-injury, the only thing less common than that is changing out a batter in mid-at-bats. Has proven himself to be electric, mysterious, elusive, and splendiferous all in one with his pitching stylings. So the right man for this crucial spot.
Seguin, we need your support if you want to see.
Two 0 already to Manson. Kicking ball outside, 3-0. Oh, where Manson thought he was going, but fastball down Broadway for 3-1. Fastball. Lopez. Wish you would have rung him there. Fastball in. I don't know how the official scoring goes, but I think because Stitch started the batter, the runner on first is still his. Infield fly rule in effect. One down. See Artigues. I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm not. One down, base is still loaded, double play depth. Corners are in. Just foul. Top speed pitch misses outside, 101. Say enough about Jack Lopez. Developed a filthy repertoire coming from the side. Not always a pitcher, but primarily a third baseman. Good velocity from the side, 1-2. Pitch in on him, but he fouls it off. Shout out to the entire Lopez family. He's come out for some River Monsters game, but does check in regularly with us, give us feedback and compliments on social media, which we greatly appreciate. Still 1-2 to the batter. I'm there, 1-2. It's a back door, 2-2. That was foul. It speaks volumes about Jack Lopez that that's the guy from the bullpen you go get in this situation. Absolute tightest of spots. Nice breaking ball down low. That's a good 2-2 pitch. Count is full. Bounce to second baseman De Leon. Tries to get the lead runner. I don't know about that. Close play at second. Ump calls him safe.
Up to bat number 31.
Needed that out right there. No error on that play. I guess that's a single. To score that. The base runner hustling, perhaps. Gives in Artigues the RBI there. Base is still loaded, one down. Williams up. Nice breaking ball from Jack Lopez. Williams is like, what am I supposed to do with that? Slides across my hip and ends up on the outside corner. And on the left, one run comes across. Runs in. It would have been an absolute Houdini job to get out of this jam. Particularly the batter. Fastball called low, apparently. Side corner, strike one. Love to see the tailor-made double play and get out of this with no more damage. At some point here, we are going to get to the Cane Cutters bullpen, I believe. Slicing. Gets down in the gap. It's in the Patrick Lee double. That's a couple good outfielders there. He couldn't have placed it any better. It was an absolute slice job, but he hit it fairly deep. Quickly in the gap. 2-run double for Patrick Lee. Fielder Jacob LaPrairie now batting. De Leon calls for it. Very disgusted with himself. 2 down.
That's about number 20.
Who led off the inning. Ball strike one. Chases the off speed. Does Zambo. Head 0-2. Go fastball here, elevated. Off speed again. The ball bounces into his foot. A side armor, Lopez has good velocity. You can get it by, you have to respect it. Fastball to first baseman, PFP. It's going to be a race to the bag. And Jose Gonzalez wins that race. The River Monsters finally get out of the top of the 7th. The 5 runs come across.
Take me out to the ball game.
On in relief. Tate, who essentially threw 6 of no-hit baseball. Got to tip your cap to that. Well, you always make me so nervous when you're doing that thing. I feel like this thing's going to give away at any minute. I'm not saying don't do it. I like the risk factor. Sure of the construction of this desk that we use. Fastball, Connor Adams, right-hander, William and Carey University. Game is not over by a long shot. Got rid of Ben Tate. Now into the bullpen. Anything can happen. And that is shot into the gap. Getting down. Ray Mendoza. Tate, we get a hit. Tough man's how it started for the King Cutters last inning. So let's see. Jacob Ruiz, 2 hits last night. His last hit was scalded past the second baseman. 0-1. Breaking ball. I'll call that a strike. 0-2. And 2. Two, breaking ball away.
A friend here who really loves baseball keeps talking my ear off.
That's a good thing, my friend.
It's a very good thing.
Friends at a ballpark and talking baseball. Connor Adams got ahead 0-2, tried his best 2 strikeout pitches. Fastball up and away, enticingly close. Jacob Ruiz takes it, and then he extends. Pretty good slider just off the plate. Ruiz doesn't chase that. Now he's worked it back to full. And he bounces that one. There you go. Aggressive turn. Single and a walk. The River Monsters are in business for our man, Warren Laster.
Get our own rally going.
No joke. That was a great at-bat. A little star on that base on balls. The 0-2 pitch was meant to be swung through, as well as the 1-2 pitch, get you to chase that slider away. Ruiz laid off of both. Third ball, fourth ball weren't necessarily close, but man, good at bat. I'm going to come back. Pitch swinging is Warren Laster. Like to see Warren rip one down in the corner. Smokey Joe Williams, you can run forever. Oh, 2.
Here we go. Go.
Warren can battle. Not concerned here. We need Oak. Ball misses by a lot right there. 1-2. Kind of like the pitching philosophy difference. Carroll would get ahead and still pound the zone. And you feel like Adams is like, okay, I'm up 2. I got to extend the strike zone. And sliders away, fastballs up and away. And he's done that. He did that with Ruiz, and now he's coming back 2-2.
In my opinion, when I was in the batter's box and our team was down, 4 or 5 runs or so, I would kind of always expect a heavy dose of strikes.
Laster does the same thing, completely works it back full. A leaning on the inside move
That hurt.
Probably a called play, the way everybody was breaking. Definitely hurt right there.
Yeah, we got to be a
Chance
little
to
more
get on
smart.
rally. If Laster can get on here, we're back in business, but checked it. Oh my goodness. Rings him.
Out just like that.
We go from riches to rags. Course of about 1 pick move and a pitch. Now we got more words exchanged. Breaking ball up. This ball up and in. 2-0 to Acadiana. Checks it, but it would have been a strike anyway. 2-1. Has been hitting the ball hard. Two fastball. Swings through it. Defensive swing from Acadiana to spoil the breaking ball at the last second.
Yeah.
You could tell he didn't time it right, but he saw, he's like, all right, that's coming in.
Yeah.
Better do something to defend.
Got to defend the plate. Kind of has that, you could say, I don't want to say Barry Bonds, but maybe like a Gary Sheffield bat
Sheffield
movement.
waggle. Skies at the center. Need the ghost of Smokey Joe to blow that one somewhere, and it does not.
And that's it. Pizza and your waffles for providing tonight. number 10, Logan McLeod.
Hensley takes over in the 8th with Jack Lopez. My personal opinion, the right man to call. You got to operate in extremely tight quarters, but that would have been an absolute Houdini job to get out of the bases loaded jam. Hensley comes on, top of 8. Off Logan McLeod. It's not Logan McLeod, by the way.
We got him.
Better ring him. Tries a stretch double, gets out. That wasn't Logan McLeod, it was number 10.
It's a nice throw by Ray.
That was Logan McLeod. He's number 10.
That's why it's always important to hustle to the ball.
Yep, single, but he gets cut down at second.
Know when that runner's going to round that base.
That's right. Hustle counts for one play here or there, and many times it's the play that makes the game.
Yep.
Crosby, first pitch swinging, fouls it off. Good audio when you can hear the Bat Boys' footsteps, right?
For sure.
Home plate mic. But probably got more barrel than anything on it. It sounded decent. Shot the other way, but he is shaking his hands at first base.
Oh, yeah.
Enough of it. Cade Crosby to get a single.
Especially with those wooden bats.
Number 3, Landon
I'm surprised. I'm one of our sponsors, Naked Bat Company. We're taking a couple hacks, but that's a well-built bat.
Yeah.
You can take it pretty far in on the handle. It'll hold together. That's a good wood right there. Not that you want to get jammed, but again, I was taking batting practice, so I get jammed. But breaking ball from Hensley, doesn't get the call. And then Manson, the catcher, down. Sure where that was. He jumped out of the way, but honestly, Augie Ramirez didn't move an inch. Ball up and in. 3-0. Landon Manson, a little bit of theatrics on it. Or 2 runners on. Like to see a ground ball here. Strombo. 3 tonight. Ball gets by. Runners advance.
Is that considered a wild pitch, or what is that? What are you marking?
I was actually trying to look up Strombo at the time. I didn't actually see it.
It kind of just came out of the catcher's glove, honestly.
Strombo, a freshman, River Ridge, Louisiana. University of Louisiana, Monroe. I think if the catcher gloves it, it's probably a pass ball.
Yeah.
It's bounced. It's going to be a wild pitch. Infield in. Swings through it. Reed Hensley gets him. Two down. His fielders were in. They'll go back.
To bat number 1, Casey Artiguez.
Artiguez.
This breeze feels amazing.
Right. It's blowing pretty good. As usually happens at Smoky Joe when the sun goes down. Oh. Hensley. Ahead.
No idea we had lights.
Flipping light switches all over Smoky Joe Williams.
Maybe that'll cut the light on for the River Monsters right now.
What I need is a huge game-winning home run up in the lights like the natural. Explodes it.
Oh, yeah.
And then that gives into like a segue to the fireworks display.
That'd be perfect.
Just keep the explosions going for the most epic River Monsters win. Hensley unleashes his fastball up high.
Ever been a part of any kind of crazy comeback?
Crazy comebacks. Craziest comeback that I recall was at Lubbock Christian, and I want to say it was like Wayland Baptist or something. Not bad at baseball for NAI up there. Fouled straight back, and it was like whoever won that game, or maybe if we won that game, we could clinch conference.
Yep.
And it was kind of a back and forth game. I think I'd hit a homer earlier, but I was also like 1 for 5 or something with like 4 strikeouts. And then it went extras. And our ace reliever, Hensley delivers, and he does it. Strikes out the man. He was down on strikes, but it was like our ace reliever is on. We're like in the 13th or 14th inning now because we're not communists and don't believe in ghost runners. You gotta earn your wins.
Yeah, for sure.
In NAIA level, anyway. And I forget what happened. He blew up. He blew up in that top of that inning. He gave up like 3 runs. You know.
Yeah.
So now we're down like 3, going into the bottom, and the magic starts to happen. Runners start getting on.
Yeah.
And the pitcher for Wayland's like their best guy. I can't remember that guy's name, but I could probably look him up because he had pretty good ERA that year. And he was kind of it wasn't fully sidearm like Jack Lopez, but it definitely like a 3/4.
Okay.
And I had faced him like maybe like in the 9th or 10th. And I had walked and I just ripped the ball foul. And I was like, all right, well, they probably, because he was harder on righties. He was a right-hander with 3/4 and a slider, so he was harder on righties. And anyway, we got down, I think we got a run in, and I think it was 2 down. I can't remember the exact outs, but for whatever reason, they walked the guy in front of me because they had the open base to get to me, which I, of course, took as insane disrespect. But also, if you were watching the game, everybody was like, I was the only guy who like lined him up.
Yeah.
Based on my last at bat. So now we're like down to maybe bottom of like the 14th or 15th. And he did have good stuff. You kind of had to decide early, like if you're going to swing fastball, and it was really hard to adjust the slider. And I got it to a full count. This is a great glory story. I got to finish it, Mike P.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Wilson, pinch hitting here. Wilson pinch hit for Raul Lopez. Great player. Davey Wilson's been hot with the bat, so trying to get a spark going. Davey Wilson's a good guy to go to. Signed with Lamar. Got to tip your hat. That's a great job by Lamar getting this athlete right here. I honestly think we might have a different pitcher for the Cane Cutters as well. I can't get this guy's number. It's Connor Adams. I think it's somebody different. Luis Solis on the job trying to identify a number. Base hit. All right, well, I guess it is Adams. 15. Dave Wilson does exactly what you're supposed to do as a pinch hitter.
Up to bat number 14, August Ramirez.
For Dave Wilson, Augie Ramirez up. I don't know why I thought it was different. Adams still pitching. Dave Wilson with a leadoff single. Breaking ball, doesn't get the call, 1-0. Hack from Augie Ramirez. Good pitch to swing at, too. Fastball.
Did you have more of like a one-handed or two-handed follow-through?
I was strange. I changed my swing so much. Off speed, swung through by Ramirez. I was very much like a Mark Grace kind of lefty.
Okay.
Kind of. I probably leaned on my front side too much and just used the hands to kind of flick the ball out there. Mm-hmm. But Wilson will advance, and he's going to take a big turn.
The advantage I had was I wasn't the strongest, obviously. I was pretty small, so I never had to think about trying to hit a home run or trying to hit it as far as I could. It was kind of more of a slap ball hitter as well. But I was a two-hand follow-through. I like to keep both hands on the bat at all times.
I was pretty much a two-hand follow-through. My senior year, though, I threw everything out the window because of the wind in Lubbock told me I could hit dingers, and I was like, it's my last year. I'm probably not getting drafted. Let's go yard.
Yeah.
And I did hit 12 homers that year, which was good for me. But I started loading up a lot more. Mm-hmm. More free swinging, which led to a lot more strikeouts.
Yeah, for sure.
But Augie Ramirez 2-2, nobody out. Maybe Wilson on second. Just leave any listeners hanging on my glory story for the break. And I think count goes full. Swings through, gets him on a foul tip. Got to keep your eye on the cat and mouse game that's going on with that shortstop because they picked Ray last inning, and Dave Wilson's an aggressive base runner, but he was doing his secondary when the shortstop was cutting behind him there. De Leon, now you're better. There's doing all kinds of interesting things for our Acadiana. Shortstop right on Dave Wilson's hip. The other thing the shortstop might be thinking is cut behind Dave Wilson and back pick. Yeah. But I would argue Dave Wilson would probably just bolt to third and make it. Now the second baseman's coming way over. Skied by De Leon. There's a lot of foul ground at Smokey Joe. 2 down. 2. Slight argument on whether the ball is just out of play because it was like behind the row of chairs. I'd like to see Jose Sparkus right here out of 4 outs. Game of espionage with Dave Wilson. Second base. I don't know if he knows the shortstop, but they're talking out there. I don't know if it's chippy or if it's friendly. And shortstop won't leave him alone. Interesting. We used to do, taking our leads from second that shortstops hated, we wouldn't lead off in a straight line to third. Coming off the bag, we'd take about 6 steps back towards the shortstop hole. So we were like behind him. Yeah. They wanted to be in, they couldn't see us. It would mess with their heads, but it would also help you round off third base. It would help you round off third base on a hit single because you were kind of deeper in the line. Mm-hmm. If you were stealing, you'd try to get deep like that, but then walk into your lead and walk right back into where you're straight line stealing. But getting deep on your lead at second. Called strike 3. Jose Gonzalez, which he disagrees with. The end of the comeback, the great 15th inning comeback or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Finally get the count full on this guy, and I probably fouled off, and I'm not kidding because there's an article I could find. I probably fouled off like 8 or 9 pitches, all fastballs. Nice. He had good velocity, and I probably fouled off ball 4 at least 6 times, but in my mind, I was like, I don't want to strike out in this spot. Yeah. I think it was 2 down maybe, but I was like, I don't want to strike out, and I had to get up early for the fastball because I'm pretty sure that's what he's coming with, but after about 7 or 8 of them, I was like, I know he's going to throw the slider.
At some point. Yeah.
At some point, he's going to come down and in on the back foot slider, and if I can spoil that pitch, I know 100% the next pitch is going to be a fastball. And so that's why I couldn't really sit fastball, because I was kind of like defending both.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he finally comes with a back foot slider, and I bounce it foul. I just like completely bounce it foul. And I was like, I stood out of the box. I was kind of like adjusting my bat gloves, and I was like, I know 100% I can go all in on a fastball, because I couldn't on the other ones. Like, I didn't know when it was coming. And sure enough, fastball, probably high and outside, but I was just all over it. Crushed opposite field, grand slam.
Wow.
Clinch conference. Oh, we partied like rock stars that night.
For sure.
We partied like
You were
rock
the lead
stars.
singer.
Yeah, that was a big comeback for us, clutch spot. But we probably came down. It was like 3 or 4 behind in one inning.
Nice.
There's the other types of comebacks where it's like big lead early, like you're up by 8, and then it slowly gets whittled away.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're like I can't believe we blew this lead.
Baseball's definitely an up and down game, man.
Justin Williams leading off. Brody Logsdon is checked in the 9th. Closed the game last night quite efficiently, I might add. Fastball.
Nice velocity on it.
Augie Ramirez takes it like a champ. 1-1. Maybe I only remember that comeback because it was my moment. But I'm sure there was probably others.
Yeah, for sure.
Bounces it 2-1.
No crazy ones that I recall. I'm pretty sure I would remember it if I did. So
It's one of those ones I probably remember, but not specifically. But you probably do. The disasters that you're a part of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where you're just like in the field and you can see it starting to get away. Just like base on ball, single, and you're just out there in the field forever going, man, we've got to get out of this. Those are the most painful ones.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I can remember the game, but I remember the feeling.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, this is getting away from us. Logsdon airmails one by the head of Justin Williams and then comes back with a fastball.
He has a nice fastball.
He does. He's an elite velocity guy. He can go above 95.
Heavy dose of those.
Bounce. Logsdon closes distant and just underhand tosses it to Jose Gonzalez for the first out.
To bat for the King Cutters, number 13.
Patrick Lee with a back-breaking oppo double. Didn't clear the bases, but scored 2. Three-run ball game to a 2-run ball game, or a 5-run ball game right there. Strike call on the outside. Two to lead.
I think I've seen all fastballs so far.
He's got a good one. He features a slider. I was supposed to say in media days talking about a split finger. Maybe I'm dreaming that up. MJ is fastball heavy. Logsdon, of course, if you got stuff that good. You'll just uncork it at your head. Call time that late. Logsdon thought discretion was the better part of valor. Two. Count, Patrick Lee. Fastball, ring him. I don't know what you were thinking. I think that was questionable. I certainly would have run off. I wouldn't have run off like it was a sure thing, that's for sure.
A lot of times they think that's going to sway the umps.
I just think it just upsets them.
Exactly.
The only thing I think that does is get you closer to the dugout for when you're getting wrong.
Yeah.
I never did that to a Blue because I felt like it just enticed them, like make an example of me.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't care how far wide it was. I was like, I'm on it. Wait, what do you say?
No,
Okay,
wait,
ball
yeah.
4, now I go. Was off speed from Logsdon. Yeah, word to the wise. Don't tell the umpire what he should be calling by
not what
running
you want.
off on potentially strike 3 or ball 4. I've just seen that too many times, Mike. Some umps love to do that.
Yep.
They just do. Off to foul. 2. Jacob LaPrairie, left fielder, over 4 tonight. Didn't get in on the 7th inning. Takes care of that. 4-3. Down to miracle time, folks. I'm a believer. Their crystals. Offer up some tobacco to Joe Boo. In Major League, now's the time, folks. Left-hander in now. I knew that name. Jay Ward, UTSA Roadrunner Junior.
Nice.
I would say don't get me started on UTSA hose job from the NCAA committee, but
Yeah.
I want to get started. My dying day, that was one of the hottest teams in the country. Did not get selected, and people blame Conference USA's strength, but man, that was a doggone good resume they put together. Jay Ward, one of their pitchers.
A great team.
Victor Jimenez bounced it to third. Long throw, could be trouble. Unbelievable.
I believe last year their football team was nationally ranked as well.
They were unconscious. They were running off wins
Yeah.
as a football team.
To bat number 21, Ray.
I have a friend by the name of David Glasgow who was their first ever running back. AAU basketball with him.
Who's that?
His name was David Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Yep.
Logan McLeod with the long throw.
Good old Larry Coker is the coach.
Coker's coaching out there?
He was the coach at the time. I don't think he's the coach now.
All right. He's been everywhere. He was in Miami forever.
Yeah.
And I'll just make a Miami joke. I just thought it was funny that Coker was the coach at Miami.
Yeah.
So associated with cocaine, but this is a family show. Ray Mendoza behind in the count. Out to left, long run. It's going to drop. They call it foul. Coach Reyes was way down the line in better position than anybody. I'm a biased observer. As it is, long foul ball. It could have been two bases. It's fastball.
To bat number 4, Jacob Ruiz.
Jacob Ruiz.
Down to our last chance.
Last chance. It ain't over till it's over.
That is one thing I've always loved about baseball, though, how it's not timed or anything.
It is not. Yogi Berra said, "Ain't over till it's over," and he was right.
Yeah, they had some really long games back in those days. We still do, but not like that.
38 on my watch. Game's been running about 3+ hours. Pitcher's duel, exception of 1/2 inning. Outside from Ward. Hopefully that gets down. Does not. That'll do it, folks. Got to score 1 run to win anyway. Good pitching. Story of this game. Cane cutters Ben Tate. 6 hits of no-hit baseball, and their bullpen does the rest. Put the ball well. The one inning where they did put some runs on the board, aided by some walks, but in this type of ball game, you only needed 1 run to win.
That's all you need.
And that'll do it, folks. That is our final 5-0 Acadiana Cane Cutters. Get the win here tonight on Fireworks Night. I'd like all the people to stick around, but we're probably going to end the broadcast here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Mike Perrin.
Appreciate
Awesome
it.
whenever you come to the ballpark. Big thanks to Louis Solis, director, producer, City of Seguin, all our sponsors, CMC Commercial Metals, Boss's Pizza, Naked Bat Co. Who else we got on our sponsors? Daniel Pest Control, Jimmy John's, you name it. Seguin River Monsters organization. I'm going to let this camera run. It's chaos on the bases right here.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Acadiana cane cutters are trapped by a tornado of children. Only just described as a tornado of like pre-K and first graders. And they're not done rounding the bases.
Oh no,
They're
let's
taking
score a lot of
laps.
runs.
They're taking laps. And there they go again. Acadiana cane cutters trying to get their last players out. And they do escape. All right, folks.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
tuning
it.
in.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Mike P. And we are out of here.